People think life-changing moments arrive with warning signs. Big decisions, big losses, big victories. A marriage proposal. A career breakthrough. A near-death experience. The kind of moments that arrive with trumpets and fanfare, announcing themselves as important before they even happen. But mine arrived in silence. On an ordinary Tuesday night, in the soft glow of a bedroom lamp, with my girlfriend sitting beside me, scrolling through her phone, completely unaware that in the next few minutes, I was about to ask her something that would change both of our lives forever. It all started in my early 20s. Just a mild irritation at first. I thought maybe it was the fabric. Maybe I needed better quality pants. So I bought expensive ones. Italian wool. Egyptian cotton blends. It didn't matter. And for years, I lived with a secret that I couldn't explain to anyone. But let me take you back to the moment it all began. Because to understand that moment, you need to understand the years of frustration that led up to it. My name is Nathan. I'm 28 years old. I work in corporate finance, the kind of job where suits aren't optional, where dress codes are strict, and where fitting in means dressing exactly like everyone else. Navy suits, pressed shirts, leather shoes that click on marble floors, and for years, my thighs, they itched. Constantly, relentlessly. I know it seems small, insignificant even, but imagine waking up every single morning knowing that within an hour of putting on your work pants, your skin would start to burn, that redness would spread across your inner thighs, that by lunchtime you'd be shifting in your chair, trying not to scratch, trying not to draw attention to yourself. Then I thought maybe it was hygiene, so I tried every soap, every powder, every cream the internet recommended, ice packs at night, aloe vera gel. Home remedies my mom swore by. Nothing worked. The redness got worse. The soreness became constant. And the worst part? I had no idea who to talk to about it. How do you bring that up in conversation? It felt ridiculous, embarrassing, like complaining about something that shouldn't even be a problem. So I suffered in silence. Every morning, I'd stand in front of my closet, staring at those rows of identical dress pants, and I'd feel this weight in my chest. And every night, I'd come home and rip them off immediately. The relief was instant, but temporary, because I knew the next morning it would start all over again. It sounds dramatic, I know, but when something small hurts you every single day, it stops being small. It becomes this constant background noise in your life, this thing that drains your energy, your focus, your joy. How can something so small ruin so much of your day? That question haunted me for years, until finally, one night, I broke. Catherine and I were lying in bed. She was reading. I was staring at the ceiling, feeling that familiar soreness radiating through my legs even though I'd already changed into sweatpants. And I just said it. I think I need to see a doctor. She looked up immediately. Concern flashed across her face. Catherine's like that. The second you show even a hint of vulnerability, she's all in. Protective. Caring. What's wrong? She asked. And for the first time I told her everything. The years of pain. The failed remedies. The constant discomfort that had been eating away at me. Day after day after day. She listened without interrupting. And when I finished, she didn't dismiss it. She didn't tell me I was overreacting. She just said, let's get this fixed. Take a few days off work, we'll figure it out. That's simple. That's supportive. I felt this enormous wave of relief. Not because the problem was solved. It wasn't. But because for the first time, I wasn't alone in it. So that weekend, I made the decision. Monday morning, I'd go to HR, request medical leave, finally get answers. I had no idea that conversation would lead to something completely unexpected. Monday morning arrived. I walked into the office, rehearsing what I'd say to Maya, our HR clerk. Maya's 24, cheerful, always has this energy, like she's perpetually caffeinated. She's the kind of person who makes small talk feel easy. I approached her desk, tried to sound casual. Hey Maya, I need to request a few days off. Medical leave. She looked up, nodded professionally. Sure, no problem. What for? I hesitated, then just said it. Recurring thigh issue. It's been going on for years. I need to get it checked out. Her expression shifted. Not judgmental exactly, but surprised. Curious. Thigh issue? She repeated, like she was trying to understand. Like chafing? Sort of, yeah. And then she said something I wasn't expecting. Do men even get issues like that? I blinked. I mean, apparently. She leaned back in her chair, this thoughtful look on her face. And then, almost like she was thinking out loud, she started talking about women's clothing. You know, she said, I think we're lucky. Women's clothes are so much softer. Lighter. Like, I'm wearing this skirt today. She gestured to the flowing fabric around her legs. And it's so breathable. So comfortable. I can't imagine wearing tight pants all day, every day. I nodded politely, not really sure where this was going. But she kept going. And it's not just clothes, it's the whole experience. Makeup feels like armor sometimes, but soft armor, you know? And heels, they make you stand differently, carry yourself differently. It's like this all-round package of elegance and comfort. She was talking with such pride, such enthusiasm, like she was describing a luxury spa ritual. And I just stood there, nodding, smiling, playing along. But inside, something cracked open. I tried to shake off her comment, but something about it clung to me, tight. Like it knew something I didn't. A feeling I couldn't name. A curiosity I didn't understand. I walked away from that conversation with my medical leave approved, but also with something else. A question I couldn't shake. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about what Maya had said. The softness, the breathability, the comfort. At first, it was just practical, clinical even. I was trying to solve a medical problem. And here was someone telling me that certain types of fabric, lighter, softer, more breathable, were inherently more comfortable. It made sense, didn't it? But then the thought expanded. What if trying something different could actually help? What if the solution wasn't another ointment or another doctor's appointment, but something simpler, something I'd never considered? And then another thought crept in. Quieter, more vulnerable. What if it wasn't just about the pain? What if there was a part of me that was curious about this for other reasons? I'd always been practical, logical, the kind of person who solves problems step by step. But this felt different. This felt like curiosity pulling me towards something I'd never allowed myself to explore. I remembered Maya talking about makeup, about how it felt like soft armor, about how heels changed the way you carried yourself. And I wondered, what would that feel like? Not as a joke, not as a costume, but as an experience. A genuine exploration of comfort, of expression, of something new. The more I tried to push the thought away, the louder it became. Could feminine clothes actually relieve my discomfort? Could trying makeup help me express myself differently around Catherine? Could this be the holistic solution I'd been searching for? The questions echoed in my mind all night, and by morning, I knew I couldn't ignore them anymore. I had to ask. The next morning was the first day of my medical leave. Catherine was making coffee. I was sitting at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around a mug, heart pounding. I'd rehearsed this conversation a dozen times in my head. But now that the moment was here, every version I'd practiced felt inadequate. Finally, I just said it. I need to tell you something. She looked over, concerned. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. It's just something I've been thinking about, and I need your help. She sat down across from me, giving me her full attention. I took a breath. You know how I've been dealing with this thigh issue for years? And how nothing's worked? She nodded. Well, yesterday, Maya, our HR clerk, she said something that got me thinking. She was talking about how women's clothes are softer, more breathable, more comfortable. And at first I thought it was just a random comment, but I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Catherine's expression was unreadable. I pressed on. What if part of the solution is trying something different? Like, actually different? What if feminine clothing could help with the healing? Silence. Then, you want to wear women's clothes? I don't know, I admitted. Maybe. I'm curious, and not just because of the pain. I think there's a part of me that wants to explore this, to see what it feels like, to express something I've never let myself express before. More silence. And then she laughed. Not mockingly, not cruelly, but this surprised, disbelieving laugh, like she couldn't quite process what she was hearing. Wait, are you serious? Yes. She studied my face, saw that I meant it, and then, slowly, her expression shifted. Surprise melted into curiosity. Curiosity melted into something else, something I hadn't expected. Excitement. Okay, she said. Let's try it. Really? Yeah, I mean, why not? If it helps, it helps. And if you're curious, I'm curious too. I felt this enormous wave of relief, of gratitude, of disbelief that this was actually happening. I need your help, though, I said. I have no idea where to start. She grinned. That mischievous, playful grin I'd fallen in love with. Leave it to me. And that was the moment everything changed. Because the next thing she did, I will never forget. Catherine approached this like an artist approaching a blank canvas. We went to her closet. She pulled out dresses, held them up to the light, examined fabrics and cuts with the kind of focus I'd only seen her use when she was working on something she cared deeply about. Finally, she selected one. A teal, asymmetrical bodycon mini dress. Thin spaghetti straps. A wrap-style skirt that created this elegant, angled slit on one side. Form-fitting, but not restrictive. The fabric was soft, unbelievably soft, and slightly ruched around the waist. "This one," she said, "trust me." Then she pulled out shoes. Minimalist black, high-heeled sandals with thin ankle straps and open toes. Sleek. Modern. Sophisticated. "Sit down," she instructed. And so I did. What followed was one of the most surreal, vulnerable, and strangely intimate experiences of my life. Catherine started with makeup. She was precise, methodical, applying nude tones that enhanced without overwhelming. Foundation. Concealer. A subtle contour. Soft eyeshadow. A hint of blush. Lips painted in a natural shade. Every brushstroke felt intentional, like she was revealing something that had always been there, just hidden. Then came the padding. Breast pads first, positioned carefully, then hip pads, sculpting a figure-8 silhouette that felt surprisingly right. She helped me into the dress. The fabric slid over my skin like water, cool, soft, breathable in a way I'd never experienced before. And immediately, I felt it. Relief. The tightness I'd lived with for years, gone, replaced by airiness, by freedom, by space to breathe. She fastened the heels around my ankles, adjusted the straps. For a second, I almost told her to stop. Not because I didn't want this, but because I wanted it more than I knew how to admit. "Stand up," she said softly. I did. The heels changed everything. My posture straightened. My weight shifted. I felt taller, more elegant, more present. Catherine stepped back, studying me with this look of wonder. My heart was pounding. I didn't know what I was about to see, but I knew nothing would be the same after this. "You need to see this." She led me to the full-length mirror in our bedroom. And when I looked, my breath caught. I didn't recognize myself, but at the same time, I'd never felt more like myself. The person staring back at me was feminine, beautiful, confident, comfortable. The dress hugged curves I didn't know I had. The makeup softened features I'd always seen as too harsh. The heels added grace to every small movement. But more than any of that, I felt right. For the first time in years, maybe in my entire life, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. The pain in my thighs? Gone. Not just reduced, completely absent. The tension I'd carried in my shoulders, my chest, my mind? Released. Catherine appeared beside me in the mirror, her smile radiant. "How do you feel?" she whispered. I didn't have words, so I just turned to her, and I smiled. And in that moment, I realized something profound. This wasn't just about solving a medical problem. This was about discovering a part of myself I'd been hiding, a part I'd been too afraid, too conditioned, too uncertain to explore. Transformation had become the catalyst for change I never knew I needed. After that first night, something shifted between us. Catherine and I established a new rhythm, a new ritual. During the week, I returned to work in my suits and dress pants, the corporate uniform, the expected presentation. But weekends? Weekends became transformation time. Not performance, not pretending. Healing. Catherine started calling them our healing sessions, and that's exactly what they were. Every Friday night she'd help me transition, choose an outfit, apply makeup, guide me into a version of myself that felt free, comfortable, unburdened. And every time, the relief was immediate. My thigh issues improved dramatically. The redness faded. The soreness disappeared. Doctors had suggested rest, elevation, different fabrics, but nothing had worked like this. But beyond the physical healing, something else happened. I became more emotionally open, more vulnerable, more willing to share parts of myself I'd always kept hidden. Catherine and I grew closer. Our conversations deepened. Our intimacy expanded beyond anything we'd experienced before. Because I'd let her see me, truly see me. And she'd responded with nothing but love and acceptance. Looking back now, I think about Maya a lot. The HR clerk who had no idea what she'd started. She thought she was just making small talk, maybe even bragging a little about the comfort of women's clothing. She had no idea she was planting a seed. She had no idea she was changing my life. So Maya, if you ever see this, thank you. You were the unexpected catalyst. The accidental spark that lit a fire I didn't know I was waiting to ignite. And Catherine. God, Catherine. Thank you for listening, for not laughing, or, well, for laughing in the right way, for being curious instead of dismissive, for turning my fantasy into a safe, sacred experience. Thank you for helping me discover a hidden side of myself. Thank you for making healing possible. Thank you for loving all of me, even the parts one didn't know existed yet. So here I am, finally sharing the story I never planned to tell. And as I sit here now, reflecting on everything that's happened, I've learned a few things I wish I'd known earlier. Curiosity is not a weakness. It's a compass pointing you toward parts of yourself you haven't met yet. Exploring yourself is not strange. It's human. It's necessary. It's brave. Healing sometimes comes from the most unexpected places. Not from doctors or prescriptions, but from questions you were afraid to ask and experiences you were afraid to try. Clothing doesn't define gender. Comfort does. Expression does. The courage to be yourself does. And sometimes, the thing you've been running from your whole life, the thing that seems too weird, too vulnerable, too risky, is actually the part of you that you need most. I spent years suffering because I was too afraid to explore, too conditioned to fit in, too worried about what people would think. But the moment I allowed myself to be curious, the moment I asked that terrifying question and Catherine said yes, everything changed. I found relief, I found freedom, I found myself. And maybe that's the real story here, not about a dress or makeup or heels, but about what happens when you stop running from your curiosity and start running toward it. And if this story touched even one quiet corner of your heart, I hope you stay a little while longer. There's room for you here. I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below. Let's start a conversation. So that's my story. And if you want more stories like this, if you believe in the power of vulnerability and exploration and healing, hit that subscribe button. Stay curious with me. Because who knows? Achas, maybe your life-changing moment is just one curious question away. Thanks for watching. The end.
The Gender Diary exists to light that path with shared stories. Whether you found connection in this narrative, you're on your own journey of gender exploration, or you're here seeking understanding, your subscription fuels our mission. Every subscriber empowers us to keep illuminating these authentic experiences for our community. Kindly drop a comment below. Your voice adds to the tapestry of experiences that makes this space meaningful. Until our next story unfolds.